Today we're going to have our first drop of the season for the Collins Career and Technical Center Chaos Apex team. We're going to be dropping against 16 other teams in our division, and some of those teams are as far north as like National Trails High School and all the way over to like Fairborn and Goshen. We also have some other Career and Tech centers we're going to be playing against, like Mideast and U.S. Grant Career and Tech Center. I'm pretty excited about this season. Last year it was interesting, but we have a lot of buy-in this year, and we should have a pretty good rotation. I think what we're going to do now is do some intros, and we're going to start off talking with talking about our starting three. First here we've got Jason Woodard. So Jason Woodard is a little bit new. He is a digital media junior here at Collins Career and Technical Center. He takes Mr. Jones's class. He's got 50 kills, 115 deaths, and a .43 KDR right now. Obviously, that's going to improve, especially playing with some of these other guys. He's going to do pretty well. Up next, we got Paul Toney. This guy is definitely the leader of the squad right now. His rank last season, I think it was Diamond. He's got 13,000 total kills. He's sitting at a 2.16 KDR, which is absolutely insane for Apex. We've got a lot of hope here for him. He's also a digital media junior. He takes Mr. Jones's class, and those two are two that's been helping us set up with these streams and moving on. And we're pretty excited about those two. The last one for the three today, we have Mr. Caleb Posey. He's sitting with 1,800 Apex kills. Last rank was gold, 3,000 deaths, and a .65 KDR. He takes auto collision here, and he's a senior. So hopefully we can do really well this semester for Mr. Posey. We're right about a minute for drop. Right about a minute from drop here. Trying to find the screen here. Our host is actually going to be from Goshen High School. Team 3 is the coach and the host there. They did rather well last year. However, National Trails was one of the better teams in the state of Ohio. I do think that they've graduated a couple kids. This year's team's not looking as beefy as what it was last year, but we're pretty excited about this year's drops. We're right at 4 o'clock here. We're waiting on a minor tech issue, and then we'll be starting shortly. I've got Casper here with me. Sorry, should have done my introductions. I'm Mr. Ray. I'm the esports coach, and then we've got Casper here. They're going to be shoutcasting with me. How familiar are you with Apex? Have you ever played?
I've never played personally myself, but I've been looking a lot into like the gameplay and how it works.
Awesome.
I think I've gotten the basic concept down.
Awesome. Have you played much video games in general?
I've hopped on like a few video games here and there, but like I've never been like a gamer per se.
Understood.
But I do enjoy playing them whenever I can.
Awesome. Just as a heads up, we do plan to rotate some of the shoutcasters with me. I like to try to get everybody involved. Obviously, week 1 we've got Casper here. We do have a couple rotational pieces that won't get to play this week for Apex. I'm going to stick with the same starting 3 for Drop 1 and Drop 2 this week. Next week, we're going to have a familiar face with hopefully Connor. Connor Willis played last year. He's a senior this year, and again, I've got some some high hopes for him. He's just got to be able to get devoted. But we've got a really good group here, and I'm really excited about that. So as well as Apex, you can see that shot there down the line. You see our 4. Tony's going to be the closest at computer 1, and then you got Woodard at 2, Posey at 3, and then Connor down there at 4. They've put a lot of work into our Apex arena this year. The digital media squad here is pretty awesome. I really enjoy working with them. I actually teach their math class. I've been their math for 6 years now. It's hard to believe Mr. Jones and I have been doing this he's been doing it much longer, but been working together for 6 years and trying to teach some math and do video games as the sort of a little bit of an incentive, the carrot at the end of the stick, so to speak. Yeah. Starting lobby in 1 minute. We should be ready to go.
Sometimes it's nice to be different, and we offer options like that too. We have designer options that just stand out among everyone else. When you're driving through your neighborhood and you want your house to just pop, we can bring that to you. And you'd be surprised at how affordable those options are. If you want a roof that just stands out in your neighborhood, call us now. We'll come out and give you a free estimate within 24 hours, and you can get the project moving with our amazing financing.
Welcome back, guys. Sorry, we had a short break right there. We're starting the server now, and we're going to be starting our drop with Computer 1 is going to be Mr. Paul Tony. I will say we are on E-District this week. That's one of the newer maps. We didn't have that last year. Last year we did a lot of Kings, but starting in 3, 2, and 1. Looks like Posey chose Alter. Looks like we got Mr. Tony taking Wraith. And then we got Mr. Woodard looking like a lifeline. We're about 5 seconds here from the official start of our season. We've got 39 in the drop ship ready to go. Paul is the jump master. It looks like we're going right downtown here. 14 total squads, 39 total players this week. Our squad, and you take away 3, that puts us with 13 enemy squads with 36. These guys have been practicing pretty good, practicing a lot, trying to work together as a team. As we do this stream, you're going to see me rotate through all the players' screens. So right now we're on Mr. Tony's. We will be bouncing. I'm just going to go straight down the line, so whenever we go to the next screen, it's going to be Mr. Woodard. Now we're on Computer 2 with Jason Woodard. This guy is a little bit green. He's a rookie. He didn't really come from Apex. He played a lot of other video games, but I've told them the same thing. When you play, you just have that natural talent. If you're good at video games, it sort of catches on. You can pick up everything pretty easily. So if you saw there in the top right corner, we already have a down by another team. We're going to rotate over to scene 3 with Mr. Posey. This guy's playing right on Paul Tony's hip right now. I like my guys to stay together as much as possible, but I mean, if it's pretty quiet, obviously you're welcome to branch out and explore and go loot and get those better guns. That way, whenever we do come up against somebody, we're ready to go. First ring's going to be closing here. We're still sitting at 14 total squads. We're at 37 now. With the first ring closing, we're going to go back over here to Mr. Paul Tony. We're at 13 squads and 36 up. That means one squad has already been eliminated, and it was a team of 3. I didn't happen to see how many short teams we had, but with 14 squads and 39, I know we're at least one short on a couple teams. got another down somewhere on the map. Mr. Tony seems to be pushing. Looks like he hears something and he's going to at least third party. So just as some general filler here, with Apex we get points based off of position, where we finish each match, as well as every time they get a kill or an elimination they're going to get a point as well. So last year, again I've already said it was a struggle, but last year I think we had about 5 eliminations the entire season. And only finished top 10 twice. So it's something we're looking to move forward with.
Yeah.
We've got our first action here. Tony popped a shield for a Pathfinder. He looks to be rotating around. Grenade threw out there. Tony is a controller player, so we do everything with PC here, but you do have the option to play with controller. So I know I've got 2 controller players today and 1 keyboard and mouse. I've personally never really been able to do keyboard and mouse, but we have a new kill leader in the lobby with 3 kills. "13 squads and 34 up." Tony pushing into a building here, taking the zippy up. Oh, broke and eliminated, knocked down. Tony going to be a little bit on a roll here. Tony there with a triple. That's the way we like to do it. We like to get one knockdown and move on to the next. I'm a Call of Duty player. Unfortunately, we can't do Call of Duty here for the Esports Ohio. It's rated M. We've got to do teen or under. But we try to do the same thing with every FPS, first-person shooter that we play. We try to start with one, knock it, and then go to the next, knock, and keep going. Already game 1, Mr. Tony there with 3 kills. That's pretty encouraging. What do you think, Casper?
I think it is a nice start off to the match.
Yeah, definitely. So we're at 12 squads left. So there's been 2 total squads eliminated, 8 total players eliminated. He's at 444 damage is what it appears with 3 kills. Waiting on Jason and Posey here before he hits that zip line. Redeploy. You can see those 3 locked in over there. I'm going to move my screen on to Mr. Woodard now. We had some nice gameplay there. Woodard's got 1 assist, 112 damage. That's still a really good start for me, or in my opinion. I like the fact they're all keeping their heads up even when they're flying. They're watching, being ready to go at any point. If they see a team, they can land on them and do what they need to do. Woodard's the lifeline here, and he's already got that perk ready to go. We're still sitting here with 12 squads left, us being one of them, and 28 other players. We're getting ready to have Zone 2 here. If you're watching, you're seeing Zone 2 is about ready to close. I'm now going to move on to Mr. Posey. Posey's playing as a Wraith, or as an Alter, sorry. That's a newer character that I'm unsure what their abilities are. But then you've got Paul here who plays as a Wraith. Wraith I'm really familiar with. They open up those warps and they can pretty much go wherever they want to go. Oh, we've got some action here. This kind of a situation, we just don't want to get pinned down inside here. Popping's always fine, just got to be able to back it up. We're going to bounce back to Mr. Tony. He's the one leading the pack here. We want that front action. Yeah, Tony's sitting at now 480 damage. He didn't crack that guy, but 36 damage is about a shield. "32 players. Somebody got a what I'd call a buyback or redeploy. That second ring's going to be closing in about 5 seconds here. So far, I'm pretty happy with how the way these guys are moving, the way these guys are playing. Tony had a couple more pops there. There's a down. Now we're going to be looking for those teammates. If you watch that first interaction, you're gonna really see how we move as a team here. We were going to have a down, and now he's going to look for those other two so he can get them down and go ahead and just squad wipe. That's the way to go. They're going to start shooting that balloon. That way they can't redeploy. It looks like they got the cut off. Got another one knocked. Right here, Tony's making a really, really tough push. It looks like Tony's pretty much got them flanked around. Almost broke from the right there. Woodard and Posey here need to hold tight. Frying him off the evac there. Tony's got to run. He's running out. This is the good thing about the Wraith here. We're at 11 squads and 26 up. That means 10 and 23. Tony's directing, trying to get them back to safety. And it looks like he does. Tony with the Phoenix kit. That's pretty important here. Looks like he's a little low on ammo as well. Jay's trying to get to safety here. Jay being the lifeline, being able to pop that's going to really help. Everybody's going to refill their life and be ready to go. Tony's now sitting at 5 kills, 978 damage. Another team over here on his left, right in front of him, and frying away. He's got one knocked. Another shield battery being ready to go. Again, that's how important this Wraith is, just to be able to escape. Both of those guys are down. We're just left with Mr. Tony here. He's now going to be a solo. He's got 5 kills. We're in the top 10 already. I understand we only had 13 dropping in, but it's going to start going really quick here in just a minute. These maps start to shrink pretty quickly.
Brings everyone in.
Yeah, brings everybody in. It makes those kills go a little faster. Apex is really good about hurrying that game up. Call of Duty not so much. You get tons of time to loot, tons of time in between. I will say that Tony is a solo now. He did not get the opportunity to recover either one of those banners, so it's going to put him in a little bit of a situation. He's got to be prepared to do a lot of 1v3s if necessary. Ah, there we go. What he did here is he crafted those banners. This is going to give him the opportunity to respawn those teammates. There's that respawn. Looks like he might be able to get both of them back right here. That would be huge this late in the game. He did. He got both of the respawns back, and if they are lucky, they'll be able to land on him safely, and we can continue grinding the way we have been. He's picking up possible enemies here. Both those guys have now landed and are looting up, trying to get some stuff. They're going to the game station here just to sort of lock it down. It seems to be towards the middle of the map. I personally think they're doing a really good job with positioning. They're trying to keep some height. This is essentially a downtown kind of a map. Tony saw somebody take the zip over. It does look like a team of 3. Tony break. Tony with a knock. Tony with 2 knocks. Looking for the third guy here just to get that wipe. Tony now with 7 kills, 1,400 damage. He's really been the leader here. He's doing a good job of keeping his guys with him. 8 squads left, 17 up. That means there's 7 other squads with 14 people. A top 5 for match 1 would be or drop 1 would be a huge boost for us here. He does see a couple people. Oh, with a laser. Tony with a laser across the map. Looking for those enemies, and he pretty much just drops right on them. Up to Zippy to try to get some health, waiting on him. Wraith popping and open a portal here. Calling out the last guy here, saying he's pretty bad. Oh, nice knock. Now we just need to finish those guys. Tony now with 8 and 2,100 damage. An awesome first game of the season. Another elimination there. Both the teammates are down. He's got to try to go get some reses. Definitely going for the lifeline first. I don't think that's a bad decision. So the lifeline gives you an opportunity, or gives you the ability where they can throw out essentially a med station. It heals some life as they sit there and they continue playing, and it just sort of stays on your hip. So it can heal your teammates, which is pretty important. Tony calling out a team on the roof here. He's sitting at 9 eliminations, 2,400 damage. Really good spot right here. Back to the game station. Everybody looks like they're pretty shielded up, ready to go. Four squads left, 8 players. That means that most people do have some trios, but there's a lot of singles out there if they do. We're probably one of the only trios left right now. Tony looks to be pushing, going for those kill grabs. Ooh, gonna third party here. These guys are doing a really good job of playing as a team here. 3 squads left. We are at least top 3 here. these guys here are doing a really good job working together. Tony's doing a great job as a leader right now, making sure his guys are healed up, ready to go, pushing, flanking very well, keeping the attention off of himself. What he's doing here is he's letting those other two guys fall in a little behind him, so he's doing a great job of leading the pack. And then he'll engage, and after the engage here, he starts flanking. He lets those other two at least hold the fire while he goes around. Remember, it's a team game. It doesn't matter if Tony gets 12 kills and the other guys get 0. Wins a win. So we're really looking forward here to these guys playing together. We're going to stick with Tony's screen here pretty much to end this first drop. Looks like we're top 3 with 10 eliminations. There's another good shot of those guys being locked in. Tony playing a little bit aggressive here, dropping down loot in some of those boxes. You can see Woodard there in the middle playing on mouse and keyboard. Tony playing on controller. Ooh, getting shot from behind here. Another thing, he's going to use that Wraith ability. Make that rift and be able to pretty much go wherever he wants. Now he's got a little bit of a height advantage here, being on top. Woodard and Posey do a good job of playing together. Look at that. First drop of the season. First drop of the season. We end up with a first place finish. That's better than anywhere we finished last year. Again, we were really excited about these guys playing with each other. We're going to end up having Tony at the top of the leaderboard there. Looks like he may have broke double digit. If not, he had at least 9 and an assist. Great game to start with here. In between drops, we're going to end up having about 5 minutes. You can see us finish on top of the leaderboard right there if you want to bounce over to Tony's screen. Top of the leaderboard, 14 kills, puts us leader of the pack with kills. The next closest was 10 with Goshen High School. Like I said, Goshen was a good team last year with the coach up there running our lobbies. We're going to have about a 5-minute halftime right here. I think we're gonna have some stuff running, but we're gonna take just a few minutes, let those commercials run, and we'll be back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, Zoe.
Did you remember my art stuff?
Check the living room. Yes, James.
Mom, when's dinner?
Already on the counter. Yes, Tina.
It's me. I need nail polish.
Come in.
Don't ask.
When putting yourself first means first taking care of everyone else.
At State Electric Supply Company, we have combined decades of experience and service with the digital tools you need in today's fast-paced world. Visit our website, where all of our products are easily accessible anytime, anywhere, on any device. Our highly trained staff, excellent customer service, and powerful online tools help you get the products you need when and where you need them. At stateelectric.com, you can log in to find your nearest location. State Electric Supply Company, where service makes state.
guys. So the way it works throughout the whole season here is we've got 2 drops. We're going to have a drop at 4 o'clock and then at 4:30. Depending how we do, like that game, we did very, very well. Finishing first there. I'm still looking at Tony's screen. So we had 14 kills as a team. The next closest was St. Xavier Team 1 with 9 kills in 4th place. And then Goshen with 10 kills in 7th place. So the way this works is top 10 gets points based off of placement. Everybody gets a point per kill, but top 10 gets points based off of placement. So Collins Career and Technical Center, that's where we're at. We finished first there, so that's going to be a 12 points for first place and then 14 points for kills. I know several times last year because, just to be honest with you, National Trail High School was amazing last year, and I'm pretty sure they've graduated a couple kids, but you see they finished 13th there. We do have 3 teams that are only duos, and hopefully the boys are watching, and they're saying, like, win for Team 6. They're only a duo. U.S. Grant, Team 12 right there, 12th place, they're only a duo. Fairborn's only a duo. So we do have 3 teams with only duos. We don't have any solos this time. Solo is a 1 out of 3, obviously. So we're gonna have 3 people per team, and anything less than that sort of puts you at a disadvantage. Last year we had several instances where we only had 2 kids, and it makes it rather tough, especially when you're playing really good squads. And like I said, I'm really hopeful about the boys we've got over there. Having a really good trio is super important. Being able to win that first drop of the season also gives them a little bit of that hope. You know what I mean? So. We've been sort of joking here at Collins, and Tony pregame was looking at everybody's ranks and stuff like that, and he's like, we should be able to scoop it up. So it's good to be able to see him to back up what he's been talking about. What do you think? I've got really high hopes for these kids.
I think they're doing pretty good. I know that Paul, or Tony?
Yeah, Tony. Tony.
I know he's been playing for like 5 years, I think. And it shows.
Yeah, he's got great movement. He's playing as that Wraith. Wraith can be a little difficult to play as, but he seemed to do really well there. Hopefully here in this second drop, usually we drop right at 4:30. We're a couple minutes behind on that first drop and just having some technical issues with our host from Goshen. But being able to drop at 4, then 4:30, it's a little bit beneficial. The longer you play in these games, obviously the more airtime we get and the more game time they get. So the better they play, the better off we are. Dropping in here, looking at some of these scores, like St. Xavier Team 1, STX 1 if you're looking there, team number 4, they finished 4th place. First place is going to get 12 points, second place is going to get 9. So St. Xavier Team number 2 had 0 kills, but they're still going to get 9 points based off of second place. 3rd through 5th is going to get, I believe it's 7 points. So the closest one there is going to be St. Xavier Team 1 with 9 kills and 7 points. Would take them to 16 points. That still gives us a 10-point advantage on them. With Apex right now, it's not it's not really a premier event. What we're trying to do with Esports Ohio here is to show that Apex can be that top tier event like we have with Fortnite or what we have with Smash. Everybody has heard of Fortnite. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, but everybody's heard of Fortnite at least at this point in their lives.
Yeah.
I mean, with teenagers everywhere, kids everywhere. It used to be on iPhones, so Fortnite's everywhere. Smash is Super Smash Brothers with Nintendo Switch, and I mean, Switches are everywhere with kids. So we had the 2-minute warning about a minute ago. We're almost ready to drop for drop number 2. Again, we're super excited. We're going to run a quick little commercial here, quick little break, and then we'll bring it back to you when we're getting ready to drop for drop number 2. See you in just a few minutes. welcome back. We're getting ready to drop here for drop number 2. We're still waiting. Like I said, we started a couple minutes behind for drop number 1, and that's always going to end up carrying over. So we're sitting here talking about points. First place is going to be Collins right now with 26 total points. And what I was sort of talking about is Collins is still only technically a club game. So you're going to have Premier, you're going to have Reserve, you're going to have Club. Those bigger games like Fortnite and Smash are going to have Premier level events. Apex is sort of working that way. We're really excited here specifically at Collins with Apex. We, like you've seen with drop number 1, we have a really good group. And they're 2 of them are juniors, so we're hoping to keep those 2 here for at least 2 years, and then add in another great third player. But they're trying to do some different changes with points. So the way it works is the top scoring team at the end of the week ends up with first place for the week. That's going to give them 25 total placement points. So they're changing it a little bit on placement points. I'm going to bounce over here to Mr. Woodard's screen. We are sorry for the delay. One player just joining, and then we're ready to go. So we're less than 2 minutes away. We're less than, actually should just be about 1 minute away. We'll get a 1 minute warning here from Coach up there in Goshen. We're still looking at 3 teams with duos. Team number 2 in Fairborn. Team number 13, U.S. Grant Career Center. I'm wanting to say that's up towards Cleveland. I don't remember. I've got to check that again.
Don't ask me.
Yeah, you're fine. And then team number 16 is Winford. Last year, we had 3 different groups, so it's already interesting to see. We had 3 groups, but we had a lot of dead space, meaning like we had teams that didn't show up or couldn't. Like I had some situations last year where I had to miss a game, and that sucks for the kids. Our goal here, we've got myself and we've got Mr. Jones this year. Our goal here is to consistently have somebody here for these guys. They put in the work. They're ready to go. So being able to do that for them is huge. But it's really encouraging to me is to see we've got 17 teams here in group number 1, Group A. Only 3 teams didn't show, so that's not too bad. I mean, we've got Shaker Heights 2, U.S. Grant 2, and Zane Trace. So really the only no-show was 17, which is Zane Trace High School. Because Team 9 and Team 14 are just backup teams for those. So like Shaker Heights could have enrolled with 2 different schools there, or 2 different teams, but only had 4 show up. I would rather have a blank for my second team and have a good rotational player than have split them like 2 and 2. I'd rather roll with a great trio than I would 2 good duos, just because a great trio is going to be more important. You can see them guys getting ready there again. Mr. Chody's getting all of his settings ready to go. They're looking at different banners for these guys. They're waiting on one person to ready up. We're waiting on, it looks like Team St. Xavier 1. We're waiting on one guy to get ready. So if we want to bounce there to Woodard's screen, we're 5 seconds from drop. But if you want to bounce there at Woodard's screen very quickly, all those green dots are when those players are ready. So when we start getting down to just 1 or 2 players that aren't ready, he's going to tell you, like just right there, you see it, good luck, have fun, GLHF. So the closer we get, the more impatient those coaches seem to be getting, which is fine. We're here for those kids, but we're still on a little bit of a time limit. We should be dropping about right now. My 3 should be getting ready to be locked in. Tony over there on the far right of your screen, and Posey on the far left, Woodard in the middle. We are still dropping E-District. So last year what they did is we dropped like Kings Canyon, drop number 1, and then drop number 2 we would drop somewhere different. E-District is a new drop this season, this year. Obviously we really didn't have a whole lot of issues with it last time. Tony led the pack, did a good job of determining where those rings were going to be closing and sort of gaining that position in advance. So it looks like this year what we're going to be doing is sticking with the same map both drops. I'm not a huge fan of that. I do like to get a little bit of variety in, and just so I don't miss it here. We're going to stick with the same 3 we ran. Tony's going to run with the Wraith, Posey's running with the Altar, and Woodard's going to run with the Lifeline. We're 3 seconds from drop. Looks like Posey's going to be our drop master here, jump master. it looks like we're going to be dropping back in the exact same spot. I personally, even when I play, I don't really play Apex a whole lot anymore. I have played in the past. But when I play, I like dropping in the same spot every time. I like to become very familiar. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to only live there, so to speak.
Yeah.
But if I find, like, if you're watching right here, you see, like, there's tons of good loot, tons of ammo. They do a good job of looting up and then looking for enemies. It's the same thing I try to do. Right now, we're on Mr. Woodard's screen. He's doing a good job moving around, trying to find something he's going to be able to play with. Picked up some heavy ammo there. Let's talk about that for just a second. So, last drop, Mr. Paul Tony did a very good job with some heavy infantry guns. You'd see him bounce back and forth. He'd run out of ammo with one. A technique that he really did well there was he would run out of ammo with one, but then he wouldn't reload, especially in the middle of doing something. He would switch guns.
Yeah.
So that's something interesting to see. Everybody's going to have a little bit different play style here. But that's something that I really enjoyed, or I really excelled at when I played, was you don't reload till you're clear,
Yeah.
or you have to. So you try to stagger those reloads so your other two teammates sort of stick put and help out. We're about a minute and a half into this the second drop here. We already had one elimination. We're still sitting at 13 other squads and 35 other players. Whenever we're looking at the top right of the screen there, it's sort of hit on our monitor, sort of hidden here behind that Esports Ohio logo, but you can see the total players in that top right. You're looking at 38 total players. That does not subtract our team. So we're looking at 35 others, and that's the way I try to think of it. We're going to bounce screens here. I'm going to go to Mr. Tony, and we're going to start from the beginning whenever we rotate. So 10 kills by Tony last game. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Tony had 10. Woodard and Posey each had 2. I'm fairly certain. Woodard and I were talking there, and he said he had 7 assists in that first game. Like I said, it doesn't matter who gets the kill as long as somebody gets it.
Yeah, as long as they're on your team.
Yeah. So as long as we don't get third-partied, or as long as we're looking at being that kill leader, that's what we like to see. With Apex, they announce that kill leader. So anytime that there's a new kill leader in the map, they make sure everybody else knows, and it's almost like you become hunted down to do that. Oh, we have now lost the squad. 2 squads have just dropped very quickly. It looks like there was a trio and a duo. We went from 39 to 34. So we're top 12 out of 14 right now. Tony with a pinging of a Nemesis Burst. Nemesis Burst used to be a really, really good rifle. Some of these guns get a little bit nerfed, but once you find something you're comfortable with, you run with it. Picking up a health kit there. Those are obviously important. Pushing on a team here. Tony with crack. To the left. And right there is exactly what I was talking about. He waits till he's completely out with both before reloading. Oh, he's got somebody to his right. We're being third-partied here. He's going to hit that Wraith warp hole and try to get to safety. Right there, Tony being a great leader. He's telling Posey how to get to safety here. Now that does sort of leave Jay all by himself over there. Tony's going back to try to protect. And Tony's going right back for the push. He hit a Wraith for 136, and again, Wraith is a super important player here. Very split here, and if you can hear it, that's exactly what Tony was saying. Up, we have a knock. Another knock. Tony's with a med kit. This is exactly why those med kits are super important. If you saw he was down to about 3 to 4 health, that med kit's going to take him all the way back up. Now that doesn't replenish your shields, but that does give you those gives you all your health back. This is where that lifeline is super important with Jay. If he has the opportunity, or if we get low enough, popping that lifeline is going to be important. While Tony's letting those other two loot, what he's doing is he's looking behind. Because we were starting to get third-partied there. So he's looking behind, making sure we're not going to have anybody crush in on us. We don't want to get flanked ourselves. We want to do all the flanking. Here we are. We've got 2 kills through Tony, and we're sitting at, once that bounce backs here, I'll be able to tell you. He's looking through some loot. .446 damage and 2 kills. We're still sitting at 12 total squads, 32 players up total. That would be 29 without our guys out there, and 11 other squads.
So where are they going right now?
It looks like they're trying to track down that solo. So Tony has 2 kills, and it was probably player 1 or player 2 and 3 on a team. So what they're trying to do here is track down that solo player, and it looks like somebody beat him to it. We're now sitting at 11 squads, 29 people up. I can hear Tony over there calling, trying to get some high ground here. While he's doing his running, I'm going to move down to Woodard's screen. Woodard's just right behind him, doing a good job of staying on his hip is what I call it. Woodard's got no kills, but he's got 231 damage. He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's supporting. I, for one, am not a fan of smoke in Apex. I actually hate it. What it does is it clouds up your screen. It's not like real smoke when you're trying to run through it. It doesn't run past you. It just follows the same pattern over and over again, and I'm just not a big fan of it. But Apex tries to be just different enough from some other games. Looks like Tony got another down and a finish there. We're now sitting at 25 other players up and 10 other squads. One more squad eliminated would give us a top 10. We're now going to bounce down to Posey here. All these three guys are doing a great job of staying on each other's hip, working as a team. Posey's the one with the assist here. Posey's sitting at 324 damage and assist. We're now top 10 here with 24 people to go. And if I've paid attention a little bit, we're bouncing back to Tony's screen here. If I've paid attention a little bit, this kill leader looks to be about 5 kills. We're sitting with 3 for Tony here. We're still only in the second round before the second's even closed. This game seems to be moving a lot faster than the last one was. Going into the second round of ring closing, we had only lost about 4 or 5 players last time. It seemed to be more campy almost.
Yeah.
This time we definitely feel people pushing, trying to be more aggressive. Throughout the season, you're going to learn how these other guys play. You're going to play the same guys 6 times. So dropping with the same team 6 times, you're going to learn the best teams. You're going to learn where they drop. You're going to learn a lot.
Yeah.
You see him here using his Wraith ability, using all that Rift energy. Tony's calling out a team. And he's going all the way back to where that Rift started. Pinging out that other team down there. He's saying they're right on his other Wraith portal. Jay's stretching out just a little bit. Probably needs to bring it back just a hair. Tony over there being a little bit confident, which I love personally. I'm hearing him on my left saying, if I get this R9, it's over. Hopefully that's the truth. Krung with a kill there. Heavy with all of that ammo, trying to drop it for one of his teammates. The R9 is a SMG. It's a light machine gun. with tons and tons of speed.
I always like machine guns in games.
Yeah, I'm definitely more of an SM guy, like a submachine gun, that speed. Here we are, 1:30 away from ring 3 closing. He's going to be opening this mythic bin here. And there's the mythic bin open. Peacekeeper. Mozambique. Mozambique is the gun that I really enjoyed playing with whenever I played, but it's probably nowhere near as good as what it used to be. 7 squads left. We're moving very quickly here. So 6 other teams with 16 others up. Here's Tony moving quickly, trying to look for that other team. Tony climbs all the way to the top, looking down. Oh, and there they are. Tony with a push. The other two seem to be staying put. We're going to stick on Tony here for the action. Tony with a flank. Great job flanking here. Got to reload. Tony with a down. Tony with another. Great job flanking by both players there. So if you were watching that, you saw Tony take the left flank, and the other two boys take the right. That allows them to not be able to focus on one player or the other. So Tony's now sitting at 5 kills with 1 assist and 1,084 damage. A little bit slower now than where we were, but again, a lot of these teams will start getting more and more aggressive the further we go in the season.
Yeah.
Again, they'll learn how the other teams play, and they'll use their own abilities to sort of counteract that.
Yeah, they'll like know what to expect.
Yep. You're always going to have those ratty teams, as we call them, the teams that just play campy. They like to stay in one spot. They like to move slow. They like to make sure they know what they're doing effectively. Tony's pushing another team here. I saw a little head bouncing. Cracked one in the back. We're 1 knocked. Another assist there by Tony. And this is, again, why I say, especially as a coach, it doesn't matter who scores as long as somebody scores. Like, I don't care. Like, as a team, I don't care who's the kill leader here. As long as we're getting eliminations, as long as we're getting those placement points, that's what I care about. Oh, with a finish. I will say Apex finishes are pretty cool. Just being, gold helmet there. They're already getting some placement here. So if you're watching the screen there on the top left, you can see his mini-map. That inside circle is where the next ring is going to be closing. So Tony's doing a great job with those other guys, getting everything set up, ready to go. I'm going to bounce down to Posey's screen, all the way down to screen 3. He's running a little bit behind, in between Woodard and Tony here. See him peeking in a window there. Not bad at all. So Alter there, he actually just went through the wall. That's pretty cool.
Can be pretty handy when you're trying to like.
Absolutely, especially if you're trying to escape, right?
Yeah.
Tony over there pinging somebody. We are in the 4th circle with 4 seconds to go before that really closes. Posey, no kills, but 3 assists. Great job. 551 damage. We're going to move up to Woodard really quickly. Screen 2. As we move up, he's cracking somebody. Great job by him. Broke a Bloodhound. He's sitting with 2 kills and an assist. Oh, here we go. Running in the double Mozambiques is what it appears. Ooh. Knocked. He is going to attempt to revive himself. Now he needs to really get some cover. He's using that Phoenix kit. That's going to completely refill everything, health and shields.
So like the Phoenix kit is like really good.
Yes.
Like you want.
Yes. We are going to bounce over to Paul's screen here. He just got rezzed by Posey. They need to get out of there and heal a little bit. We're top 4 right now. Tony's now on his own. We are top 3. Tony's sitting at 6 kills, 2 assists with a top 3 placement. That's still pretty good. That's better than anywhere we finished last year. This is just another example of why I am so excited about this year and these guys playing together.
I think they work really well together.
I do too. The longer they play, the better off we're going to be. Tony's getting his 6 kills, 2 assists, 1,679 damage. We're at 3 squads left. Tony taking a little stretch of his hands there, you can see. Trying to listen. We're gonna stay quiet for just a second here. Listening for those footsteps. Seconds from the close. Top 3 is not going to tell us how many players we have left. It's only going to tell us there's 3 squads left.
It likes to keep you guessing, right?
Yeah, especially as a solo in top 3, it gets a little bit hairy. He's got to make a decision here if he wants to move for those banners or if he wants to play for placement. Me personally, I probably play for placement here. He's down to 59 total rounds there with that R9. Right in front of him. And we end up getting eliminated there. So the second drop, the guy who eliminated him had 2,200 damage and 13 kills. That is pretty much going to finish us out for that second drop. We finished 3rd place there. 3rd place, I think, is 7 placement points. And when we get back, I'll be able to tell you here how many total squad eliminations we had. What we're going to do now is just go to a quick break, and we'll come back right before we close out.
It's no secret that bad weather happens, and in that unfortunate event, we can be out to your house within 24 hours to make sure you have emergency services, tarps, to keep your home from sustaining further damage. But we also work with your insurance company to make sure that you get it put back the way it should be. We want to make sure that you get the best roofing system you can have to protect your home. If you did sustain damage, don't hesitate to call us at the number below, and we'll come out and make this process easy for you.
Welcome back. We are almost finished out here. I wanted to take you to the total kill screen there. Give me 1 second. There we go. I'm looking at Caleb Posey's screen. Goshen, which I have talked about a couple times here, finished first that drop with 20 total kills. That's pretty crazy. We had 14 kills in first place last time, which is 26 total points. That right there is 32 total points. I don't remember where they finished on the first drop. But we finished 3rd place with, it looks to be 8 eliminations. That should be another 15. That should realistically put us about 41 points for the week. To me, that's amazing. That's much better than we finished last year for total points at any point in the season. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. If I can have one of them bounce me back to the match 1 screen, I should be able to tell you how many total points Goshen has. Bounce me back to match 1, Posey. Match 1 left. Where you just were match summary. And then match 1. Okay, so right here on our match 1 screen, Goshen finished 7th with 10 kills. This is why I was telling the team there, like, we really got to be careful with those guys. So they ended with 30 total eliminations through 2 drops. That's crazy. We ended with 22. They ended with 30 through 2. We did get that first place finish, the first drop, which is another 12. So that puts us at 34. We should be about 41 total points for the first week, which I'm very, very happy about. Week 1, what it does for us is it allows us to see who we're going to have to worry about in the next 5 weeks. The top 3 to 5 teams through each group, or really, I think it's going to be top 10 teams through each group are going to make it to the playoffs, and then from there, we would possibly get to go to University of Cincinnati to finish these things out. But I really appreciate everybody watching, everybody that's supporting our esports team. I'm really happy to see the results we're already having, let alone what we could have with everything coming up. So we appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Tune in next week, 4 o'clock every Wednesday for the next several weeks. But thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
See ya.